Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Trump has fully let us know that we have caught Charlie Kirk's assassin. And not only that, we're doing something about it. And this is super important. I don't think this has ever been done in the history of the United States. But we have the person of interest. And now Trump is scrubbing the internet and looking for individuals who hold a federal position, or hold office. Any federal employee that celebrated the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk, he said, you are fired. We're going to find you. We are going to fire you. This includes everybody in the federal department, military personnel, Department of War, civilians. Anyone holding a federal job will be held accountable. If you're working for the federal government, you do not celebrate the assassination of one of the most prominent, up-and-coming, close friends of Donald Trump, our president. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And not only that, there's been calls, there was attempts, more attempts. You didn't hear about this. We're going to show you. A man who attempted to try to take Trump's life yesterday. The U.S. Secret Service is tightening President Trump's security following the attempted assassination on Trump, and also after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We are dealing with radical leftist crazies. These people, there's something not right. And if you get to the point where you're willing to take somebody else's life, that's where we cannot hold back. We can't play patty cake anymore. This isn't a game. This man left behind 2 children and a wife. And now more is coming towards Trump. We have fully confirmed that Charlie Kirk's assassin was a radical leftist that believed in socialism, was a part of socialist groups, as well as Antifa. We're going to go in detail and show you what was on the ammunition cartridges. It's time that we recognize these organizations as terrorist organizations, and that's coming from Congress. What you're going to see today is that people are fed up. Playing games of trying to work with the other side is not working anymore. We are literally in a battle of good versus evil. When you are trying to brainwash children into thinking there's something that they're not, when you think that it is okay for men to go in and blast women in their own sports, when you think it's okay to have an open border where terrorists and illegals are coming in and killing Americans, we're not on the same playing field. We're not in the same game. This is good versus evil. This is America first versus you want America destroyed, you want chaos. And they finally, I'll give it to this, Senator Toons finally invoked the nuclear option, and Trump is hell-bent on pushing this forward to clean and drain the swamp. In a unanimous 53-45 vote, the nuclear option has been confirmed, cutting the confirmation threshold for Trump's judicial nominees from 60 to 51. We have 53 votes in the Senate. We are going to be fast-tracking a lot of Trump's judicial nominees to drain the swamp. Chuck Schumer has been stripped of his power trying to block President Trump and his nominees. And now that the nuclear option has been invoked, we are going to see a massive, massive increase in indictments and Trump's judicial nominees going after the corrupt individuals and draining the swamp. But it's not just that. President Trump has just announced that George Soros and his entire network will be investigated under RICO charges. He claims Soros is behind the funding, training, and radicalization of young people, fueling terror and extremism. President Trump is also deploying the National Guard and federal agents into Memphis, Tennessee, New Orleans, and Louisiana. They said, oh, it's all just about blue states. No, we're going to clean up America. We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to clean up everything. And a U.S. appeals court has just given Trump another win to defund Planned Parenthood. The First Circuit ruled 3-0 that the big beautiful bill's defunding of abortion clinics is constitutional. Lots of things are moving fast today, guys. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that are moving. We have to protect our president. We have to make sure we drain the swamp and hold people accountable. We got a big show of breaking news for you today. Want to say thank you to everybody who is watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, joining the family. We're going to take care of you with all the receipts, all the news every single day. I want to say thank you to our members of the channel. Y'all are the best. We truly appreciate your support with us. The super chats, those that give a super chat donation, want to give some love to Elaine Demeen, OG of the channel, as well as Boudica 1954. Remember, when you donate on this channel, we take this money and on the 22nd of every single month, we donate to charity. We give to a local charity that is making a difference. And this month, it's to a children's home. So as we continue to take part of Charlie Kirk's mantle of bringing the truth, not being afraid to show the receipts, not being afraid to be America first, with your support, we're going to continue growing this family, growing this community, showing the truth, and being America first, and not being sorry about it. I'm not sorry about wanting to make sure that we stop spending money overseas and make sure that our seniors are taken care of, or make sure our children got food or a good education. If you appreciate all this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, when you click that button, it really does help our channel to get out there, to get our voice heard, to get more people watch, to us to bring out the truth, because you know we bring the receipts. A big show today because everybody's being called out. Trump is going after everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because one of the big ones especially is Obama. Listen to this. Is Tyler Robinson. This is the person who's been taken into custody over the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This is what we're dealing with. This is who they've taken in. The killer confessed to his father, who is a 27-year-old veteran of the Washington County Sheriff's Department. His father then contacted authorities and secured his son before he could be taken into custody. When we look at this and we look at what's happened and what they've said, it is time for the biggest massive change that is coming through, and Trump is holding steady to it. This is what I love, is that Trump is an action guy. He will take action, because this right here is unacceptable. This was from our former president, Joe. He wasn't the former president. He was just a puppet. He said, Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of this country. The greatest threat to our country. Genuine threat. Threat to our freedom. Threat to our democracy. Threat to everything America stands for. Trump poses many threats. Greatest threats. If we lose that, we lose everything. This right here radicalizes young people, especially if you're on a medication, especially if you're taking antidepressants, especially if you're a person who is susceptible to the president of the United States trying to tell people, basically, we got to take these people out. If you appreciate these receipts, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, I told you guys, we're bringing it today. Right here, the U.S. Secret Service is tightening President Trump's security following the killing of Charlie Kirk. They said these increased measures should be permanent for whoever President Trump goes. We can't take any chances. This is what a lot of people are saying. But we can't, right now, anybody, there's so many people, there's 330 million people. All it takes is one to be radicalized. Ralph Campbell, Mobile Welding, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Let's go. He said, I've watched teachers, dams, and tons of people being happy. He's dead. Lord, watch over all of us because this world is in chaos. Thank you, Joe, and your family. Brother, thank you so much. Y'all show Ralph some love in the chat, everybody. We're not dealing with, it's not even the same people anymore, everybody. This is a matter of good or evil. If you celebrate that somebody was killed in cold-blooded murder, something is wrong with you.
Man claimed
open the borders, spend ourselves giving money all over to overseas foreign aid that those people never get the foreign aid. I told you, look at this, a manhunt underway for suspect threatening President Trump. The Secret Service and NYPD Counterterrorism Task Force are searching for a suspect who made credible threats against President Trump ahead of the Yankees game. I'm telling you, like, this is the thing we're dealing with. And this is why they're tightening up his Secret Service. This is why you can't take things lightly. We're in a moment where these people, they're not afraid to lose their life trying to take out Trump or a MAGA Republican or somebody, or like they did with Charlie Kirk. And it breaks my heart because this is where we're at in America. We don't have the freedom of speech anymore. People are so radicalized that whatever they believe they are justified to go against anybody, to literally take people's lives just because they think differently. And like I said, this is the manhunt underway for the suspect threatening President Trump's life. And it's only going to get worse. To me, with what Trump is doing, which is what I'm going to show you in a moment, we got to get the money. We got to make sure that we protect the conservative voices, because they've already shown extreme violence towards them, and we have to be able to protect them. Jim Barbato, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Let's go. Guys, show Jim some love in the chat. OG of the channel. Brother, we appreciate you so much in helping our giving. Kelly Washburn, thank you so much for your support. Look up stochastic terrorism. The media is guilty. Y'all show Kelly some love in the chat, and I will do. Listen to this.
We weren't a white Christian man, strong, proud, brave, hardworking, loyal to one woman, a family, children, the future. That's what Charlie had, and that's what he fought for every day, and they killed him for it, and now Charlie belongs to the...
I'm telling you guys, like, this stuff that's coming out, I want to show you right here that the governor of Utah confirms that the writing on Charlie Kirk's killer's ammunition, this proved the killer was a radical leftist. The fired casing notices, bulges, OWO, what is this? Unfired casing said, hey, fascists, catch, with 3 down arrow symbols. And if you didn't know what 3 down arrow symbols means, we bring the receipts, guys, and we show you that is for the Antifa right here. The 3 down arrows. On another unfired casing, Obella Sio, something like that. It's a reference to an Italian anti-fascist song. And then the third unfired casing, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. So you see here what we're dealing with. Like, this right here is beyond like normal common sense thinking. And I'm so glad that we get to report to you today that the Senate Republicans finally did something, people. In a unanimous 53-45 vote, they've invoked the nuclear option, cutting the confirmation threshold from 60 to 51 and stripping Chuck Schumer and the Democrats of their power to block President Trump's nominees. So we're going to be fast-tracking this because Trump's fed up. He said we're going after everybody that's in the federal government that's celebrated Charlie Kirk being assassinated in cold blood, and you're going to be fired. They're going to use they're ramping it up, everybody. Let me know your thoughts on this. Joe Go, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Let's go. He said the Dems are unfit to be in government. The rhetoric from these officials and the media needs to stop. And unfortunately, there could be more attempts. Stay strong, everyone. Amen, brother. Y'all show Joe Go some love in the chat, OG of the channel. And don't forget to show Jim Barbato some love as well. We got some more updated news. I'm telling you guys, like, people, nobody wants to work together anymore. Even Bannon said what they're talking about, what he's hearing in the White House, is that no more negotiations. We just need to do what we need to do. We know it's right. We're putting America first. We're protecting citizens. Listen to this.
I'll be brutally frank. I was quite underwhelmed by that. And I think the governor, now's time that we don't need a campaign speech and certainly don't need happy talk. So many unanswered questions, and I do not understand why law enforcement did not step up to the microphone and give some details. Some details, instead of glazing each other about this partnership and we're all great, we did a great job. Correct me if I'm wrong. We watched the 9-minute press conference yesterday, and the pictures that came up and went all over the internet. And it appears the kid had said something to the family. The family had just confronted him, and the family turned him in. I'm not seeing the great law enforcement work, and I'm not, saying there's not great law enforcement. They all came together. I got that. But this was not through law enforcement work.
Wow.
There's actually a report out there that maybe the FBI have been tipped off about somebody up on the roof, during the week. I don't know if that's accurate. We're trying to check it out. But we don't need a governor, a political figure, to step up. A governor is also known to be, I think, particularly obnoxious. Remember, he's totally woke. He was all into the transgender thing. This guy's completely woke. We don't need a governor to step up and give us basically a political pep talk and a rally, and let's just all come together. When you have an Antifa, you get details in here about the theme song for Antifa on the bullet. You got the symbology that Antifa uses all the time. You clearly have a young, progressive, left-wing hater that assassinated Charlie Kirk in cold blood. What I want to see is some law enforcement people step up to the microphone, give some details, and take some questions from the media. I don't know why Cash flew out there, thousands of miles to give us, hey, working partnerships and our great partnership in Utah. Okay, I got that. No offense to the law enforcement guys in the future of this. The public assumes that you're working together as partnerships. There's certain assumptions when you walk to the microphone of information. We don't need time and time and time again. I tell my team, when these press conferences are scheduled, I don't know if I need to be for the first 10 minutes because it's just going to be some all group thing about how great we are. Charlie Kirk was assassinated in cold blood by a left-wing Antifa affiliated or Antifa aligned person. Okay, we want to find out about him. We want more details about him. And correct me if I'm wrong. Matt Bowles here. We're going to get Poso by phone. In the Discord channel, the guy said there's nobody. We're not looking for anybody. There's nobody here. Yo, I think he's got at least one accessory. Maybe the roommate. Mm-hmm. I mean, who is in the Discord channel? They're talking about the gun and retrieving the gun. I would assume that person has some knowledge of a crime. And has some knowledge of a crime right immediately after the shot was fired. And I don't remember, no one's come forward and said, that guy came forward and said, hey, I think my roommate just shot Charlie Kirk.
I want to show you again how they're trying to control the narrative. I hope you appreciate this. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support, everybody. It really does help out. MSNBC is now saying that there was no narrative behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You cannot make this stuff up, guys. How bad they're willing and how far they're willing to go to try and protect their narrative. Transgender, Antifa. MSNBC is now saying there is no theme in the assassination of Charlie Kirk despite Tyler Robertson having anti-fascist engravings and anti-Nazi song on the bullet casings as well as transgender wording. They want to bury it? This is mind-blowing. I'm going to play you. This is why what you're about to hear from Bannon and from everybody, we're fed up. We're just tired of the gaslighting and the lies.
Transpired here these last 72 hours.
Von Hilliard, thank you, everyone. Please stay close. And joining us now is criminologist Casey Jordan. Casey, so much happening so quickly here this morning. We're learning as well from our own reporting that there's no indication of a prior criminal record. This is according to searches of state national public records associated with the person, Tyler Robinson, and his date of birth. One of the most striking details that we learned from this press conference were, again, about those bullet casings and the inscriptions, hey, fascist, the words, Bella Ciao, the words, if you read this, you are gay. What do you see as the significance or what the message is that he's trying to communicate here?
Really, I would need to actually see these words in the way that they are on the bullet casings and the gun to make a proper interpretation. But just knowing what those words are, I'm kind of overwhelmed with how immature it all sounds and that there is no really chronic theme. I think Brandy really nailed it. You have to make of it what you want because...
Did you just hear that? From the Utah governor. No theme, guys. No, we just did it because he didn't have nothing better else to do. I'm telling you, like, this is good versus evil. This is trying to cover it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Summerman, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Said no matter how hard they try, it's over for them all. 100%. Because channels like this and all the rest of it, we're going to bring the truth. This is mind-blowing that you just heard the Utah governor say, no, there was no theme. We don't really know. It's crazy.
This is why people get so frustrated. And no, Governor, no. We're not going to have a group hug and sit down with Democrats. They are targeting conservatives. They're targeting leaders. Charlie Kirk's not replaceable. The group of Turning Point with Tyler and Andrew and the other great team that Charlie's built, they will go on and they're going to do great things and probably greater things they've done before. But a Charlie Kirk's like an Andrew Breitbart. These individuals come along once a generation, right? They're not everyday people. And they targeted this guy. They targeted him. The family said right there, Matt Boyle. And look, I'm just sick and tired of law enforcement, with all the resources we put into it, to come up and say, we're working in partnerships, we're great, we're communicating. The public assumes that is happening.
Yeah.
We should get to the chase, cut to the chase, and give the public content about exactly what happened, the timeline of how the guy turned himself in, about the family, about more details, and about accessories to the crime in the Discord channel, and go into and have a governor up there that has no earthly idea about Antifa, doesn't want to matter. We had the FBI director. Could we not get up there and talk about what this symbology means? Because the left is not going to get off the hook in this. All these reports coming, what do you mean we're a war banner? What are you talking about this? They assassinated Charlie Kirk in cold blood in a targeted exercise that took planning.
Yes.
Planning. And now we're going to sit here and let's have some groups. Let's get together and have a group hug. They take out Charlie Kirk and let's just sit down and have a group hug. Let's have Antifa over for a barbecue this afternoon. How about that? Antifa, can you Charlie, the gentlest and nicest individual in this political world, who would sit there with a microphone and say, I can convince you through ideas. I can convince you through the force of my argument, not violence and anything. He was the happy warrior. That's who they took out. Who could be more accommodating than Charlie Kirk? Who could be nicer than Charlie Kirk? Who could be more accessible than Charlie Kirk? That's why they murdered him. In cold blood, assassination, and this was an execution. And now you get the symbology of this, and we're just going to have this press conference, and okay, fine, and let's go. It's time to us to bring the unity together. No, they always want the unity after they do something horrific. Well, they ain't getting unity, and there shouldn't be unity. We should get answers on this to drill down with people that know it and present to the public exactly what his affiliations were, who he talked to, and round up the accessories. And now more than ever, I don't know why we're not putting down Antifa, at least at minimum.
I'm telling you this. There was no assassination attempts on Biden. No assassination attempts on Kamala. None on AOC. No violence from the pro-Israel crowds. No arrest on the pro-Israel side. No calls for death or murder for those who oppose the pro-Israel. But whenever it comes to the left side, it's the complete opposite. And it's just right now, Elon Musk is fired up as he was whenever Trump got shot. And Elon Musk said, in order to survive, an ideology that fails to reproduce itself must necessarily infect the minds of the children of those who do reproduce. That's why they push so hard to control education. It is a vampire cult. Why do you think they're after our kids? Why do you think they have drag queen story hour? Whoever in their mind, which is not right, thinks it's okay for men to dress up in like a stripper and dance in front or read a book to children that are 3, 4, 5 years old, you have lost your ever-loving mind. And that's what we're dealing with. And these kids, and like this, these are young people that have been brainwashed into thinking that that the only way to stop somebody now is to take their life. That's what we're dealing with, everybody. Trump's fed up with it. And now I want to show you what he said explicitly, because this is where we start to see change. When we talk about what the next steps are, this is big stuff. And to me, I'm so glad that we have a president who is a president of action, who will use his executive orders. Because when you look at this, guys, this is about as stupid as it gets. George Floyd was a convicted felon. He had so much drugs in his system that was the cause of his death. But the media treated him as a saint. They built statues in his name. They did riots in his name. Charlie Kirk talked to college kids in the most peaceful manner ever. And now they've mocked his death and say that, oh, Trump's going to use this as a tool to go in and infiltrate and make change. Are you kidding me? Like, this is the society that we're dealing with. It is good versus evil. Let me know your thoughts. Mr. Tracy J. Norby, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He said, my better half told me to pull over and give a shout. This is for the halibut. Thank y'all for being givers. And this is for the children donation. Say it loud and proud. Drain the swamp. The far left are way out there. Amen, brother. If y'all appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much for your support. It really does help our channel so much. Y'all show Mr. Norby, OG of the channel, some love in the chat, everybody. And his better half, we love you too. Mrs. Norby. Lady Trucker, thank you so much for the super chat. Said before the shots were fired, Charlie Kirk's 2 security guys were standing behind him giving baseball hands-like signals right before the shooting. Is the FBI looking into Charlie's 2 security guards? I don't know, but I will check that out. Lady Trucker, y'all show Lady Trucker some love in the chat. And don't forget to show Chris Prez, brother, OG of the channel, 20 True Life News gifted memberships, growing the True Life News family. If you got a free membership from our brother Chris, show him some love in the chat. What a kind gift. Guys, show Chris some love in the chat. Lady Trucker, Mr. Norby, y'all are amazing givers, and I pray God blesses y'all. We are seeing so much going on, guys, but here's our president.
Yesterday, you were at the 9/11 memorial. We were all watching that.
Yeah.
J.D. Vance was supposed to be with you. He went out to be with Charlie Kirk's family and to get the body back to his hometown in Arizona. And you said you were going to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which was very nice of you. Any updates on this suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor, everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But, yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr. President.
And he's in custody.
Your suspicion was that he was radical left, and now you have more information. What can you share with us about his ideology?
Yeah, Lawrence, let me just, and by the way, Lawrence is doing a good job. What's going on?
Fantastic job, yeah.
Mr.
I'll tell you what, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
I said you were going to do well. Yeah, I think that I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned him, you know, they said, whoa. It's interesting. We had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody...
They knew it was coming. Let me tell you this. Whenever they had those pictures and we got the video, it was only a matter of time. And whenever somebody knows that the jig is up, they just go ahead and cave and they turned themselves in. They say he told his father, because that's what we've heard, is that he told his father, I did it. And his dad said, all right, he secured him, called the police, and then they took him. Because he knew that everywhere he was going, everybody was going to be after his butt for what he did.
And this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And brought him to a U.S. Marshal who was fantastic.
I told you guys, some of this stuff, it's like news. So somebody recognized him, went to the father then approached him, and then that's whenever he said, okay, I did it. That's big stuff, guys. I'm telling you, like, it was only a matter of time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but you know, I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you, huh?
Thank you.
You always have breaking news, Ainsley.
Right.
Sean's going to be very disappointed that we're not doing it on his show.
He'll be very thankful and appreciative of the
Sean
police
Hannity.
officers that got this guy.
They did a great job, everybody worked together. Pam Bondi is incredible, by the way. People don't know what a star she is. She's incredible. And it all worked out.
Could I ask you just some clarification? So a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal. And they took it from there. And then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in. And they, so I understand it. And again, subject to change. But, you know, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Wow. Let me show you this. This is his mugshot. Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson, is 22. 22 years old. I don't think our brains even developed till we're like 25, especially for males. I think females, it's a little earlier, but this is what happens whenever you have people like the President of the United States say that the people on the right are a complete threat and an existential threat to democracy. Even to the point where I'm going to show you this, where Chris Cuomo attacks Elon Musk because Elon Musk said that the left is the party of murder. And I'm going to show you this, guys, because I'm telling you, listen to this. He literally says that Elon Musk, he wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk was murdered just like Charlie Kirk was.
When the richest man in the world, who controls the most powerful platform in our media, writes that the left is the party of murder, and then decides, Elon Musk I'm talking about, the stupidest genius I've ever been around. And no, I'm not going to excuse it because he's autistic. I have a lot of autistic people in my life. They are not all morally bankrupt, okay?
Morally
they
bankrupt.
don't all say the stupidest thing at the worst time. All right? I don't know what it's about with him, and I don't give a shit, to be honest.
Sorry, guys.
He is, in my opinion, exhausted his usefulness. Now, does that mean he should be murdered? No, because that's not how I see the value of human life. But would I be surprised? No. I wouldn't be surprised if it's me.
And Elon Musk responded and said, by implying that I might be murdered by the radical left, Cuomo is exactly proving my point. Like this, I'm telling you guys, like nobody, like we are unraveling the entire United States just string by string with what is actually happening with ideologies, far left radical ideologies. And I know that there's far right, but right now it's the far left that has taken action and taken one of the most amazing individuals that ever walked the United States as a true patriot, Charlie Kirk. Whoever, and I'm telling you, I listen to him a lot. Always respectful. Always wanted to just, let's talk. We don't got to fight. We just need to talk, voice your opinion, and let's go from there. And now that we see this, it's too much. Hammer of Justice, thank you so much for the super chat. Said there's too much to explain on the super chat, but I think there were a lot of people involved, people signaling behind Mr. Kirk, people cheering, acting like they expected it. Yes, we saw the video of the guy who literally cheered after Charlie Kirk was shot. That guy needs to be pulled in because he might be an accessory. Y'all show Hammer of Justice some love in the chat, and if you appreciate this, if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up like button, guys. This is big, big stuff. Lots going on today. Chris Prez, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Said the Dems' culture of death is alive and not well. Amen. We have to, I'm going to show you something right now because this is where we're at as a society. And everybody, it says this is literally what's going on. In 2008, you had the center, and then you had on the very top, if you can see, there was a conservative, and then you had the My Fellow Liberal, and then this is what Elon Musk said that he was. He was right there. He was in between the center, closer to the center, but still on the left. And then the left in 2012 started moving away, and then Elon Musk got a little bit closer to the center. And then all of a sudden in 2021, you have the woke progressive, which is the third line, calling everybody a bigot. And now Elon Musk is more towards the right, but he hasn't moved. It's the left that's moved. And then now we're at the point where there's a shooter who's going after the conservatives in 2025, but still that same person that's me hasn't moved. This is where we're at right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace, love. Thank you so much for your support and your membership. Robert Cash, thank you so much, brother. Says the hate needs to stop. We all need to show love. Love conquers all. Heavenly Father, pour your spirit on us. Amen, brother. Y'all show Robert some love in the chat. As well as Jogo for gifting another 5 TrueLife News memberships. OG of the channel. Show Jogo some love in the chat. As well as our boy George Massalas, who says, I pray that Jesus embraces Charlie and his family during this horrible time in our nation's history. Y'all show George some love in the chat, as well as Steve Bahanan. Welcome to the family, Steve. Show Steve some love. And again, don't forget to show Mr. Norby and his better half some love in the chat. Jim Barbato, Chris Prez for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. Such a blessing in giving to our channel. And again, what I'm showing you, the stuff that's coming out, it's like, what's going to happen next? That's the big question.
Alex Jones, you, maybe even more than Posobiec, and Posobiec's an expert, so you're like the dean of experts about this evil we face. Are we going to hug this out, brother? Is this what's going to, are we going to hug it out for these Antifa? Hasn't Antifa hunted you down for years and basically tried to either disrupt you or kill you, sir, or injure you?
Yes, and of course they went and knocked down the door, remember, years ago at Tucker's house, and he had to move out of D.C. So let me just be 100% clear. What I've just watched in the last 30 minutes or so is 100% accurate from you, from Posobiec, and the Breitbart writer. All of it is completely true, but there's one other big piece that gives me chills right now, and it's this. The Podesta plan from August of 2020, published in the New York Times, official Democrat war game policy, was that if Trump was able to win and they couldn't steal it, they would foment racial crises using Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and Islamic groups. And when you go to these trans rallies, these leftist rallies, upwards of half of them now, usually about a third. I've been at rallies with 100, 300, 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 in Austin, other cities. They are trans, and when they march in Austin and Dallas and places, they have M4s, and when they see me, they say, "We're going to effing kill you." We have footage of this, and they talk about their days of trans rage. The last 8 mass shooters, counting this as one of those, or assassination, execution, have all been pro-trans or trans. And so Bongino carved it on the bullets. The shooter at the Catholic Mass of the kids 2 weeks ago in Minnesota did this. All of this is the same. And then the media tries to suppress it, but they're failing now. They suppressed it for 2 years. It was trans in the case of Nashville with the woman demand trans killing the kids. This is satanic. Jack's absolutely right. You go on their Discord chats and everything, but they even publish this like in magazines and the local newspapers in Portland and places. Men in dresses with guns saying, "We're coming to kill you." You have governors. You have the Attorney General of Minnesota wearing trans rage shirts with knives and guns saying, "We're coming to get you." You have the Democrats like Pocahontas refusing to say that they should turn down the heat. So what they do is they call for violence. Governor Newsom calls for punching people in the face. Then they have a few surrogates come out and go, "Oh, kumbaya." Then they have the Axelrods and others say, no, it's the Republicans that turn the temperature up. No, everyone knows the violence is all in their direction. So here's the key pieces that I'm sure we covered earlier, but I missed. So let me just...
And I want to show you this real quick because I'm telling you, like the stuff that's coming out. This is all breaking news that's like coming out. Congressman Thomas Massie calls on President Trump to tone down the rhetoric after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. He said there's a lot of rhetoric and the president himself engages in it. He should probably tone that down himself. What do you do, everybody, when you're dealing with things like this? What should happen? I'm telling you, it's like when I honestly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, tell me where it's at, but I have never seen Trump call any of the Democrats a Nazi, a fascist, a white supremacist. I've never seen it. So please, if I'm wrong, and I do this stuff every single day. This is literally part of my career that we do the True Life News show. But this is just blowing my mind that this is where we have literally a Republican sitting now. I kind of was on the fence with Massie because I saw where he was coming from on some stuff, and now I'm just like done with him. Warrior Woman for JC, thank you so much for the super chat. Said Deep State is all over this. This assassination was just like JFK. This was planned and they have a lot more to come. Pray for our nation. Amen. I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
They have launched the Podesta plan. Carville, Podesta, all of them, right when Trump got elected in November, said the Border Patrol and ICE are coming to kill migrants. Trump is coming to kill black people en masse. No evidence. I go, they're going to do a false flag. And I said, where are big group of blacks at? A traditional black college. 2 days ago, they shot them all down. People start calling them, obviously false flag calls, bomb threats. We're going to kill you because Charlie Kirk's a white supremacist and we're white supremacists. So by that, they make it this dialectic and this comparison. So now what I've been predicting is happening. The last piece ahead of the false flags. I believe they're going to hit a migrant demonstration, and because they already pre-programmed it. And then they say then they're going to have their full uprising that'll make the summer of 2020 look tame in comparison. Then they will try to have blue states secede, saying Trump's a dictator, and blue cities. They will burn the cities to the ground. They believe will crash the economy. Then they'll do a cyber attack. They've already pre-programmed that and blame Russia. They're also claiming white supremacists are going to hit power plants. There's never been any evidence of that, but they've staged provocateur actions like in Tennessee the day before the election last year. It's all been pre-programmed and scripted. And that's why people like black colleges, somebody's going to attack those. Well, now they've shut down saying Trump people are coming to kill them. Preposterous. And then they'll just shoot out of a parking garage, truck bomb, something like that, have a dead MAGA supporter there with paraphernalia. They'll literally blame Trump, all of his key people. It's the same MO. Within 1 hour of the Minnesota shootings, where the guy said he did work for Walsh, and actually said he was going out to kill people for Walsh, then they shut the story down. They were going to do a false flag to make Walsh, according to the guy that did the shooting, look like a hero. They had the roommate within 1 hour come out and blame Trump and me by name, saying, "Oh, we're big fans. The shooter's a fan. I'm a fan of InfoWars and Donald Trump. We did, I think he did it for them." Literally pre-scripted, prepared, all of this. So they're getting ready for their asymmetrical destabilization, civil war. Just like the movie they produced, Civil War, is the third act of the Podesta plan. It doesn't start with the race war. It just cuts to the blue states coalition army going into D.C. and killing Trump, who only has a little bit of military, and Secret Service protecting him, and then a black woman goes in, a black sergeant, and executes the Trumpian figure. This is literally all scripted out. They brag at rallies. We have clip after clip where they go, "We're going to force them into violence. We're going to get violent. That when they kill a bunch of us, we're going to uprise and do all this." So they know. They talk about it on their Discords. They talk about it publicly. They talk about it on X. They have teachers, lawyers, mainly teachers, doctors, everywhere celebrating Kirk's death.
Teachers, the people that are teaching our kids. What I'm showing you guys, I told you I'll bring you the receipts. This was posted by Nancy Mace, who is a Congress lady. This person, this teacher, Southside High School Social Studies, said thoughts and prayers to his children. But in my humble opinion, America became greater today. There, I said it. You cannot reason with this. This right here is the worst kind of evil that is, to me, exists. That when somebody gets assassinated in cold blood in front of their family, because Charlie Kirk's family was there, and this is what you say, this is what's in your heart, this is your moral compass. Are you kidding me? It's wrong, guys. And I want to show you this in just a moment, but I want to say thank you so much. Peace, love for the super chat member of the channel. Said TrueLife News, the giving channel. There's no one like you, Joel. Shout out to all the moderators. Thank you. Thank you so much. Peace, love for your support, faithfulness. Y'all show peace, love, some love in the chat. Thank you so much. GX Torrid for being a member for 4 months. Amen to that. I love it. What we're dealing with now is this right here, because it always goes back to two things, everybody. It goes back to the money and control. If they can't control your speech like they tried to do under the Biden administration, where they had literally a new department created to go and censor people whenever it used to be Twitter and Facebook, and the FBI was involved. Listen to this.
You can tell which side is the good side and which side is the bad side by which side wishes to restrict freedom of speech. The side that is restricting freedom of speech, that would have been sort of the Hitler, Stalin, Mussolinis of the world. They had very strong censorship, very strong restrictions on speech. That's one of the signs that they are the bad guys. And so, in fact, a restriction on speech and large government is fundamentally fascist, obviously. So, ironically, in pushing for censorship, it makes it very clear that the left is the side that is against freedom, and freedom of speech is simply one of many freedoms that we should have as a civil society, because ideas should win on the strength of their arguments. They should not win because they are suppressed.
You see that? Okay. It's the censorship. This is coming. This is the whole reason why Elon Musk bought X, because we needed to have a voice of free speech. Now we're going for the money. This is where, again, there will be people, there will be pit bulls that rise up to fight this, and this is where it matters the most. Alice Lewis, thank you so much for your support. Let's go. Guys, y'all need to show Alice some love in the chat, always helping us to grow our likes. If you haven't already, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, Alice is a true OG of the channel. She said, when times are bad like this, people's hearts and wallets go out to help the hurting. Amen. We are doing, and that's what this channel is all about. Y'all show Alice some love in the chat. So kind. And I'm telling you, We need some of these people that you're about to see, we need them in leadership because they have the backbone to do what needs to be done.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My amendment strikes funding for overseas humanitarian disaster and civic aid program. My amendment strikes $115 million in foreign aid funding to the overseas humanitarian disaster and civic aid programs of the Department of Defense. The War Department. You see, the United States government is not a charity, and the American people are some of the most generous people in the world, all by themselves, without the government taking their hard-earned tax dollars and sending it to wherever they want. You see, this account funds 3 different programs. Humanitarian assistance helps nations with disaster preparedness, public health support, basic infrastructure support. Humanitarian Mine Action Program provides assistance to nations to help them safely eliminate unexploded mines. Disaster relief supports disaster relief in foreign countries. 2023 and 2024, the department provided support for responses in Haiti, Turkey, northern Syria, Philippines, Libya, and Gaza. And while we're compassionate to people around the world suffering from national disasters and many other issues, think of our own national disasters and problems that we face here in our own homeland. Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton, the Lahaina wildfires, the LA wildfires, the Texas flooding, the opioid epidemic, and in Northwest Georgia, the drinking water is also polluted with forever chemicals. These are the issues that the American people care about. These are the issues that the American people pay their taxes for. And $115 million shouldn't be sent to go sit in an account somewhere, ready to go pay money off to every foreign country and every foreign country need. We're $37 trillion in debt, and I cannot believe that we can't cut spending here in this body that has created that debt. Mr. Speaker, I reserve.
The gentlelady from Georgia reserves. For what purpose does the gentleman from Washington seek recognition?
To claim the time in opposition.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
I yield myself 2 minutes.
The gentleman is recognized.
I think basically what this amendment says, as the gentlelady was saying, we are a compassionate nation. She's saying she wishes we weren't, basically. We need to stop being a compassionate nation. And this is $115 million. I will remind everybody that the budget bill that the gentlelady and the sponsor of this amendment voted for added $4 trillion to the debt. Why don't we start there?
Right there, y'all. This is what I wanted y'all to see. That whenever it comes to any type of we're $37 trillion in debt, and there's all these different like packages and bills out there that are giving money away to everybody, anytime we try to pull back and bring it back to America, you have people like this that are saying, no, let's not focus on this because it's only 115 million. Let's not focus on that because it's only 250 million. I don't know about y'all, but that's a lot of money. $115 million is a lot of money. And the more and more that we continue, that this is why even Elon Musk said that the government is unfixable. And it just goes back to the point of, are we ever going to have people held accountable in Congress when it comes to our spending? Or are we just going to spend ourselves into oblivion because the people in charge just do whatever they want? Kim Jordan, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Y'all show Kim some love in the chat. Guys, thank y'all so much for your support. And don't forget to show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. Chris Press, some love in the chat. Jogo, Jim Barbato. Make sure to show him some love in the chat as well, everybody.
Mr. Speaker, we're $37 trillion in debt. Fiscal year 2024 was the first year that the U.S. spent more on interest payments than on national defense. Spending on interest was more than all the money spent on veterans, education, and transportation combined. That's for America, not the rest of the world. Interest costs will keep rising, crowding out other priorities, and not only burden future generations, but cripple them. 300 Americans die every single day from drug overdoses. And in 2024, 17.6 veterans committed suicide every single day. And there were over 30,000 homeless veterans. These are American problems. These are the issues we should be spending Americans' hard-earned tax dollars on instead of shoving them off and just saying, we can't wait to give American money to the rest of the world for whatever they need. But yet we kick Americans right in the face and say, no money for you. According to the Department of Education, 85% of black students lack proficiency in mathematics and reading skills. 40% of high schools in Baltimore did not have a single student score proficiently in math in 2023. Not a single student. But we got to send another $115 million for somebody else's flood or problem or issue that because, you know, God forbid, the government not jump in and send money to foreign countries. This is a shame, and this is hurting America. Mr. Speaker, I reserve.
The gentlelady.
I'm telling you, everybody, like this stuff that's coming out, if it's not one thing, it's another. They are fighting tooth and nail, and that's why this is so important that we're showing you right now that the Senate Republicans finally did something. In a unanimous 53-45 vote, they invoked the nuclear option, cutting the confirmation threshold from 60 to 51 and stripping Chuck Schumer and the Democrats of their power to block President Trump's nominees. So we're finally going to see some action and getting more judicial nominees with what Trump wants to do in his judicial branch. This is big, everybody, because again, the Democrats, they were doing things that's never been done before. We've shown you on this chart. At all past administrations, they did voice votes, they did all types of things like that. But now they completely said no to Trump on every single nominee whatsoever. 0 nominees confirmed until we're finally moving forward with this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much for all your support and helping us grow our family. D. Adams, thank you so much for your support. Said, Joel, I pray that you stay safe also, since you are known as a conservative and Christian. Please stay safe. Amen. I appreciate all y'all's prayers. And trust me, like this, me and my wife had a big talk about all this, and it's a part of it's if y'all just knew the story of how this all came to be, you would just say it's a calling. This is part of what God's called me to do. If you only knew all the details when it came to my previous job, when it came to all the stuff. So I just pray that that my family stays safe. I pray that I stay safe. I honestly plead the blood of Jesus over me and my family every single day. And I thank y'all for y'all's support. And we have to do, we can't let fear run us. And that's the number one thing, is that no matter what happens, we'll have to do what God has called me to do. And this is a part of it. And I appreciate you all who support us. Y'all show D. Adams some love in the chat, as well as Lynn Defoe for being a member for 9 months. And Denise Clark Custom Art, thank you so much for your support, OG of the channel. Show Denise some love in the chat. Denise, we appreciate you so much. All this stuff that's coming out, I'm telling you that no matter what, in all this tragedy, we're trying to move forward as a country. We're trying to take care of Americans. But I'm telling you, listen to this, because this is going to be big. Y'all show Denise Clark some love in the chat, as well as D. Adams.
Americans looking for inflation relief may have to wait a bit longer. According to the latest read on consumer prices, inflation picked up in August to the fastest pace in 7 months. With the labor market flashing warning signs and jobless claims spiking to a 4-year high, could the latest inflation data complicate the Federal Reserve's next interest rate decision set for next week? So these are the kinds of issues you got to debate. We talk about open debate, inflation and the economy, top of that list. Marcus, we got some inflation data today. What do you think?
I think the CPI data came in about expected. There was one thing that I thought was very interesting, and that was the used car number of 6% up. And everybody's saying that that's a bad thing. I'll tell everybody at this table and everybody watching, used car values going up is a good thing. That means what you own today is worth more tomorrow. If your houses go up, that means it's worth more tomorrow. So we got to really start to peel apart the data to understand what is really going up. I didn't see a lot about furniture. I didn't see a lot about apparel. Okay. There's some transitory movement there. For me, it's time to do it. It's time to have a more radical shift in the rates. The job numbers are just not good. And it's not about AI efficiency. I keep hearing this nonsense. Oh, it's AI efficiency. No, people went home. I unfortunately sent people home. Okay. I know it. I know other companies have as well.
Interesting, Jerry.
Let me pop in on, you just mentioned where prices are rising, where they're going down. Housing continues to rise, but we are really seeing certain former go-go markets get dinged here. So you're seeing Austin, you're seeing Miami, you're seeing Tampa. There are cities all over the country where prices have actually started coming down. I think this housing inflation is going to stall out at some point, and that will ultimately be, shown in the inflation numbers. But we've got a little ways to go yet.
You know, you read how the market responded to these numbers this morning, Dig, and looking at bonds, looking at stocks. It seems like investors are settled on the idea that the inflation's probably not going to spike, and the bigger concern here is a deteriorating jobs picture. What do you think?
The Federal Reserve is going to fight unemployment and focus very clearly on the slowing job market. And 3% is the new 2% in terms of inflation that they've settled with. They're going to move away and not continue to fight inflation and try to bring it down even more. But there are two tricky things in that. Inflation's not down to the target. If inflation reverses itself, because it is a psychological phenomenon, but asset prices are still, look at what the stock market's doing. Stocks, housing is still wildly overvalued compared to what people earn in this country. Crypto, you name it, it is bubblicious galore. And so what happens? They cut rates, the bubbles keep inflating, and then you get a ginormo bubble that explodes, just like in the 2008 crisis, and you have this massive cleanup that has to happen after that.
Are you suggesting that we don't cut rates? That's kind of what I just
think
heard.
that they will absolutely cut rates.
Because the
10-year... It is, given the environment and asset prices, that is a big old risk.
Yeah, let's look at the 10-year. The 10-year dipped below 4 this morning.
Right, that's a bubble.
Right at 4 right now.
Given the, I would say there's maybe a bubble in even long-term bond prices, given the state of our federal fisc.
Mike, I associate the word bull with you more than bubble, and I'm guessing you're going to be in that camp here. What do you think?
Yeah, look, so what I find most interesting about this morning's number is that if you look at the CME Fed Watch tool, okay, by January, we're up to 4 rate cuts on a 50-50 basis. Right, and so I think if Jerome Powell was doing his job right, the front end would be 100 basis points lower right now. Right, I think we're 200 basis points restrictive, if not 175. It's the most restrictive we've been in this entire inflationary cycle. So I think we're going to get 25, 25, 25, at least 3 rate cuts here, maybe a 4th, and then by this point next year, probably 7, 6, maybe 8. From where we are, and that's how we need to look at everything. And yes, there are problems underneath with the labor market. And I think, tariffs, whether we like it or not, it creates uncertainty, which makes it harder for markets like people to cost things out. And while we're still navigating through that, it's going to be a problem. I do think we'll see some recovery next year, especially with the EPA and the deregulation you get there, the big, beautiful bill, the immediate depreciation that you're going to see in there. And then another thing you got to look at is look at how good the PPI number was yesterday and how that's a leading indicator. So I do not see inflation as a problem. And as to asset prices, look at Oracle. right? The stock looks expensive until they tell you their earnings are going to grow a gazillion percent, right? Because of this AI thing that's going on in the background. And when you remove these AI names, and if you're looking at their forward PEs, what's going to happen in reality is probably anywhere from 15 to 50% higher for most of these Mag 7 names than what's priced in the market right now. And when you look at it kind of at the bull case of the earnings, these multiples go from the mid-20s down to the high teens. And given where rates are going and what the economy is likely to do over the next couple of years, I do not see an asset bubble.
Well, growing at a gazillion percent is...
Let me tell you this, y'all, that again, the Fed rates, all this affects everybody. Americans through and through. The people, if America is winning, we can do better. Our entrepreneurs will take off, and we will be better for it. I'm actually going to put it in the, because one of the things too, guys, like we're a growing channel. Like I'm starting businesses left and right, because to me, the more that I make, the more I can give. That's honestly in my heart. I'm going to put it into the description of this video. It's going to be the first link in the description. I started a company called Real Steel. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not a normal looking, I mean, if you look at me, like, I've actually, you know, I'm pretty fit, you know, want to keep my health up for me and my kids. But I started a company called Real Steel that we're going to be selling, you know, gym accessories, equipment, things like that. And we're going to get into apparel and things like that because I've always been super passionate about the gym. And I'll put the link in the description. If you want to go and grab you something, we'd much appreciate it. But we're going to do the same thing we're doing with TrueLife. Like, it just makes me super happy because we're going to donate a percentage of our revenue to local charities. And to me, that's what it's all about. The more that we can continue to grow, like, to me, that's what we're supposed to do. So those that are capable, that know how to build businesses and know how to grow America, we need to give back. That should be a part of our DNA. And so, like I said, my link's in the description. If y'all want to go grab something from Amazon, we really appreciate it. But we're about, we want to be America first. We want to be MAGA. We want to be Maha. Because again, if the right people don't build up the right businesses and control and help control and give free speech, then this right here on the screen is what you're going to continue to see. Look at Wikipedia. Said the murder of George Floyd, the killing of Irina Zarutska, and the shooting of Charlie Kirk. That's what's on that's what's on Wikipedia right now. So when it comes to the left and their narrative, they got to make sure they put out those very vibrant words. But when it comes to the right, it's not as bad. Like, this is what we're dealing with, and it's going to take the right people standing up who can actually do what needs to be done to pull people together and grow the message. Want to say, if you're watching, if you're not subscribed, please consider joining our channel. And if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, please do so. Want to give B1 Sly one some love in the chat. Said several people wanted to donate today but can't afford it, so this is for them. I love it. Y'all show B1 Sly one OG moderator of the channel some love in the chat. We're doing big stuff. This channel is growing. We're growing our influence. We're growing our reach. And I just love it because we are doing big things to help make this world better. I want to give some special love to our members of the channel. I want to give some special love to those that have donated today. Remember, on the 22nd of every single month, we donate live on stream with your support. Guys, and we're changing so many lives. We donate to a local children's home this month, and we are truly making a difference. I want to give some special love to Ralph Campbell, Mobile Welding. Thank you so much, brother. Jim Barbato, OG of the channel. Kelly Washburn, Jogo, OG of the channel. Thank you so much, brother, for gifting those 5 True Life News memberships. I love it. Summerman, Lady Trucker, thank you so much, Lady Trucker, for your support. Hammer of Justice, I love that name. Chris Prez, OG of the channel. Thank you so much, Chris, We appreciate you, brother. Peace, love. Robert Cash, appreciate you, brother. George Masalis, I love that hat, George. Steve Bahanen, welcome to the family. Warrior Woman for JC, peace, love. Thank you so much for your kind words. Alice Lewis, thank you so much for your kindness and helping us grow our likes on the channel. Jane Joe, welcome to the family. Kim Jordan, D. Adams, thank you so much. Lynn Defoe, member for 9 months. Denise Clark, custom art, member and OG of the channel. Y'all show Denise some love in the chat. B1 Sly One. Alice Lewis says, here's more for those that can't. Thank you so much for your kindness. Mr. Tracy J. Norby and his better half, OG of the channel. Thank y'all so much for your kindness and grace. Like I said again, we're trying to grow this channel. We're trying to grow our giving. We're trying to grow our businesses. I put the link in the description. We just started this store, guys. So what we're starting off with, it's called Real Steel. We're selling gym accessory and equipment. So wrist straps, knee straps. These are good, awesome premium quality. You know when I do things, I'm going to do it right. Grab you some. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. We are doing what we can to grow businesses and give back. And that's what we're doing. And I really appreciate everybody that supports us through your giving. Whenever we sell our t-shirts, we're getting ready for our next, we should show our new design tomorrow for the next t-shirts. Like all this stuff just helps our giving. And that's where my heart is at. I know that's where this community is at. I just appreciate you for liking and sharing our videos. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.